Do you like horror and satire? My name's Charlie, and I've recently written a collection of short stories called Untimely Beginnings. And it's the story of this poor guy, Dave, who's a bartender in another universe. And I like to try to take things that are scary and make them funny. Today I'm going to read for you the first excerpt out of Necro Business. Hi, it's me again, Dave from the Hellhound Bar. And wow, do I have another story for you. This one was very different for me, so you'll just have to hear it and you can judge. For myself, I'm kind of becoming numb to the weirdness factor. I mean, tentacles, demons, hunters, my boss, they just all kind of become one great whoopee of weirdness, and I and the fearless gerbils just can't keep up anymore. There's a limit to what a simple bartender can deal with. The owner of the bar has been having these strange meetings in the back room. He warns me very politely not to come to the back room no matter what. But then these strangers come in randomly, totally hooded in cloaks so that I can't even see their eyes. The robes or cloaks or whatever don't even fit right. They're shaped oddly or have pieces that shouldn't fit. I don't know what to do except to pretend not to notice. It's probably safer that way. On the bright side, I went to my first bake sale for the Church of the Goldfish. To be honest, I went to see if I could find her, but it was still a bake sale. There were some really strange items there too. Eyelid cake, finger mousse, cream of the old gods. Not really sure what that's about, but you guessed it, she was there. Her name's Elle, and she may be the prettiest woman I've ever met. No, really, at least I think so anyway. She showed me around the little church, the altar holding a small crystal goldfish in a bowl. It glowed with purple light. She even showed me some of the forbidden murals, paintings of the great goldfish swimming through emptiness and creating the universe with a swipe of its tail fin. It's a strange religion, but no stranger than any other. I mean, there's that cult of the followers of the demented fistula down the street, and they're really weird. Anyway, back to the story. I was standing bored behind the bar last Friday afternoon. At least, I think it was Friday. Time is just different here. Everything had been stocked, the fire extinguishers were ready in case of another flaming dart tournament, and I was slowly building a real case of existential dread for the evening to come. The same as any other Friday night, really. As the gerbils were getting up to a more fever pitch over how was Dave going to die tonight, I heard the little bell above the door tinkle. I looked over to see a simple man, brown hair, clean-shaven, in khakis, and a simple polo walk in. It was the kind of outfit that screamed middle management. The guy walked erect like he was confident, but I could tell by the set of his shoulders and the slight downward tilt of his head that he was worn down. This was a guy who had been beaten down by life and was just getting through one energy drink at a time. I wondered if he worked in retail. There's a job full of existential dread and the urge to die. Mr. Middle Management casually walked up to the bar and took a seat. I could tell he was trying to scope the place out without looking like that's what he was doing. As this was not unusual in a bar full of nothing but odd behavior and odder people, it didn't worry me. The gerbils lay snoozing in my imaginary mind, so it couldn't mean trouble, right? I walked over to him and asked, "What'll you have?" in my most customer service-oriented voice. It probably didn't sound all that friendly, but hey, it's the effort, right? "I'd like an old-fashioned, please," he said. "Bourbon?" I asked. It was traditional, but with people nowadays, I had to ask. "Oh yeah, please," the guy said. I think I startled him with the question. Guy was out of sorts. Maybe his gerbils and my gerbils were family? Who knew? "Classy," I said, "coming right up." And it was a rather classy drink. Versions of the old-fashioned were being tried by bartenders as early as the Prohibition era in America. "So what brings you in?" I asked as I laid out the sugar, bitters, and bourbon to make the cocktail. "I'm trying to avoid my family right now," he said while looking down at the bar. "Not big drinkers, huh?" "Huh," he replied. I felt he was a kindred spirit at that moment. Huh was an inherent part of both our languages. Kind of made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. "Your family, they're not big drinkers," I asked, "since you're hiding in a bar and all?" "Oh," he said charmingly and looked like he was trying to catch up on the conversation. Dude was definitely a long-lost cousin. Had to be. If not in body, at least in spirit. "No, not really what I mean," he said, and looked uncomfortable. "You see, my family is really powerful, and they've been hounding me for years to come back to the family business, and it's just not a life I want." "Hey, a life with money can't be all that bad, right?" I asked, and gestured vaguely at myself. I didn't really mean to say I was poor, but let's be real. I didn't work here for the thrills. As a matter of fact, why did I work here again? "Money," he asked. Oh, but he was elegant in his speech. It was beautiful. "Money means powerful, doesn't it?" I asked. I was starting to think we were having two different conversations. "Oh, they have money, but it's their power that scares me," he said and took a sip of his drink. They must be politicians, I said wisely. That's me, your local detective behind the bar. A sage, really. Intelligence with a capital I. They're necromancers, Dave, he said flatly. They raise the dead for money, and it really is a noble profession. But I want to be normal, he sighed in disgust. If you'd like to see how the rest of the story turns out, feel free to purchase my book. It's available pretty much everywhere as well as Kindle. It's Untimely Beginnings by Charles Ingram. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you have any criticism, feedback, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Thanks, and have a good night.